The arrival of a brand new Season Pass is possibly the most exciting time to be a Marvel Snap player. We've got brand new cards in our hands already in the form of Zabu. We've got more Series 5 cards coming week on week on week, and we finally have our first set of players who have managed to make the charge up to the Infinite rank and posted their deck lists online to be featured in the first ever Infinite Decks of the Week of 2023. If you haven't checked out that video, by the way, you probably should. It's pretty good. With all that said, I think you can have too much of a good thing. I've been playing on the ladder on stream recently, and there's been one pretty constant element in my life. Unsurprisingly, there is a lot of Zabu everywhere. People are keen to play with their new toy, experiment with decks they haven't played before, and maybe a few new cards like Darkhawk they've managed to unlock from the token shop. I say enough is enough. I think there are actually a few hidden gems in Marvel Snap, and I look to hopefully break some more of these down in the near future in some more videos for you. But there was actually a deck that we reviewed in a previous Infinite Decks of the Week segment that I was very excited about and never got round to trying just before the new season launched. And of course, when Zabu released, everyone just kind of forgot about it. So I'm here today to remind you of what I think might be possibly one of the best decks that nobody is really playing right now. Now, of course, this is just an opinion piece. There is no facts to back this up because, of course, it might be the best deck that no one is playing, but that still means that no one's really playing it. So I don't really have data to go off of. This is very much just a hunch based on Moops here, which you can see the tweet on screen, making Infinite last season with a deck that I think is just massively underexplored. Let me introduce you to Sera Surfer Patriot, a deck that we kind of briefly covered in Infinite Weeks Decks of the Week before. Sera and Silver Surfer are kind of an already known pair. They were quite good in the Spherical Surfer decks at the top of the tier list over the last few months, and they were a very solid pick to climb the ladder. However, it was also quite a popular deck, one that many people know how to retreat against properly or when to bet cubes into you. It makes the deck have a great win rate, but the cube rate doesn't represent how strong that deck can be, so in order to add some surprise element into the build, we end up here trying to catch a few opponents off guard, an element that I think is very important if you're trying to rank up early in the Marvel Snap season. Moob spiced things up by including this Patriot package inside of the deck. Patriot, Squirrel Girl, Misty Knight, Shocker, Cyclops. Then we can immediately see how this makes sense, as both Patriot and Cyclops will benefit from the Silver Surfer buff as well, while Brood benefits from the Patriot buff. This creates a really sweet hybrid deck where you can show two different strategies to the opponent while still having 7 3-cost cards in your deck, enough to still pull very strong late game synergies the opponent just might not be ready for. It's still tricky for a lot of players to anticipate precisely how much power a Sera Surfer deck can put out, and then when you chuck in Brood in an empty lane or the hidden potential of Mystique and Patriot on the final turns, it's really hard to know what kind of math you need to do to figure out what score will be on locations on the final turn. You might not even be recognized as the Patriot deck at all. On the contrary, if you decide to show the Patriot package early, how can you tell if Silver Surfer is one of the cards coming on the final turn? I think this is a great way of adding a twist to a very popular deck and possibly get away with way more snaps than this deck might be able to, something I'm very interested in early in the Marvel Snap season. So I'm going to take you through a variety of games today and showcase you a little bit what this deck can do. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel here at Marvel Snap Zone, doing our best to keep putting out daily content on the YouTube channel and on articles on the website for you as well, to make sure you are never missing out on anything to do with Marvel Snap. So we appreciate your support, it goes a very long way, and if you want to help push us out to more people over the course of the day, make sure you're liking the video for us and leave a comment in the description box down below. Keep that algorithm happy. With all that said and done, let's head into the games and see how this one holds up. Alright, let's get into the thick of this and spin some Patriot Surfer. I was always meaning to play this deck myself when we first covered it in Infinite Decks of the Week, and never got around to it. I'm not a big Patriot guy. Patriot's not a deck you can probably tell, actually, because the Patriot in my hand is, like, uncommon. I don't play a lot of Patriots. This one will be an interesting learning experience for me, again, to go through some of the stuff this deck can do, and just seeing A little bit more about this kind of split duality. This hand's looking a bit awkward so far. Ongoing effects being doubled is great for us, but we're not doing a whole... Okay, Domino has died. I'm not entirely sure why Domino has died, but Domino is dead. We are going to go Cosmo mid here, with the intention of keeping our Patriot safe from Enchantress and similar things like that. Hopefully finding a way to make a variety of bodies here would be nice. Sera's going to help quite a lot on this final turn, though. Our hand is full of the chunk at this moment in time. So I think we're actually just going to... Brand new sub coming in. Kind of hoping I don't have to use this game in the video now, because I forgot to turn those off. I am very, very bad at doing that. Anyway, how do we want to do this? I feel like Maximus is worth the most to us here, but I'm really not sure what my opponent is looking to do. Lady Sif discarding... Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, okay, opponent's plan was very much to, you know, not play Domino into Death's Domain, but I'm sure Agatha had other thoughts. That's genuinely hilarious. Alright, Sera is up and active. Opponent with a Sera of their own, sure. And so, I think the plan has to be... Cyclops... Shocker. No, hang on. We have to do it over here, right? Shocker. Patriot, Squirrel Girl. This was exceptionally well hidden, actually. Opponent has no idea we're a Patriot deck here. Absolutely none. I think I'm going to snap. Should be pretty easy for us to win the Death's Domain here, I think. Not 100% on that. They go with the Ghost Rider on the Agatha, sure. So we're not winning Death's Domain. Is this enough on the right-hand side for Miriel? That is the question. Enchantress is going to do nothing here, because our Patriot is safe in the middle. Hidden... Oh, what the hell? How does the game crash? Alright, we get back in time to show you the end of that 4-cube game. That was a mess from a production perspective, but I think the game was good enough and a really good showing of what this deck is capable of doing that I want to leave it in the video. For the week, if you like. I've seen a ton of it on the ladder at the moment over the last couple streams, so I'm wondering if we have the ability to like play catch up on that final turn and like catch up with the tempo it gains from slamming 4 drops on turn 4, or multiple of them anyway. So a system is a little annoying here. Sorry. Not doing a lot other than playing a Domino here. Don't really matters where this goes. It's a bit of an awkward start here. Opponent on the Hazmat deck by the looks of it. So no Patriot, no Surfer at the moment. So we are struggling a bit. We should probably try and hold this Cosmo and try and figure out where this Hazmat is going to go later down the line. I think we're just Maximus for now. Green Goblin is definitely kind of annoying. Maybe okay if we can find the Surfer. We find the Patriot instead. I think we want to hold this till the final turn, if we can. We are definitely eating a fat Hazmat here, though. No doubt about that. So I think we just fill out for stuff with the Patriot. Get that buff guaranteed. Opponent will debris us. Patriot now costs 4. Jeez. This has been a pretty rough one, unfortunately. I think we have to go for Patriot is the name of the game here, with the Mystique to make the extra copy. But we are kind of getting folded in half by a Hazmat, I think. Let's go for it. Opponent will Scorpion again. And Hazmat, sure. So we are still ahead in 2 places. The loot cage does say that we might be in some danger though. Is this enough? I have not done the math. Odin sends waves across, but that's not enough. That is not enough. Still holding our own against double Hazmat triggers and a Green Goblin. And that's good enough. We can still put enough stats on the board thanks to double Patriot. Very, very exciting. Sadly, the Cosmo was in our hand to counteract that, but I'd already filled Sinister London, so... Okay, let's take a look at what we can do against this brand new shiny opponent. Fisk Tower is interesting. I'll Squirrel go. I don't want to catch myself off guard and not have enough space to play this out later. So we'll get it on the table now instead of playing Misty Knight. TVA is probably pretty good for this location, for this deck, I'd have thought. We are rather reasonable at playing low to the ground and across multiple places. Also, Maximus really helps against TVA. Partner with the Domino. Sure. Elysium. Well. Think we are in good shape. Willing to lose some cubes if I'm wrong. Sneaky little TVA game. Opponent staying in with the Jessica Jones. Okay. Well, that kind of seals the deal, huh? Is that better? I think single Patriot Maximus might actually be better. Am I missing something? Alright, we're going to see if I get punished horribly. Maximus Juggernaut with no effect. 8 cubes being gobbled on up. Thank you, opponent. That one had me sweating. That one had me nervous. Whew. Alright. Taking one final spin with this one. Let's see if we can't find a game that lets us play against a Zabu deck. Fingers crossed. I do think this has some reasonable game against them. You can catch up on tempo pretty easily on the final turns. But I am a little concerned they're playing Enchantress for the mirror matches. So I'm not sure if that's going to be a concern or something that we have to worry about going forward. No turn 1 or turn 2 for either player here is certainly something. The Misty Knight will give us a decent turn 4 at least. We will go... What will we go? I think we just go Cyclops here. I'm going to try and figure out where Cosmo's supposed to go. And I'd rather hold Maximus and Silver Surfer for the Sera turn. So we'll just Cyclops. And it should probably go into Washington, DC for obvious reasons. Okay, Zabu from the opponent. We have our question answered. So, Brood over here, Misty Knight over here. So we're looking for a Patriot, really. Patriot's the one we'd like to see. Opponent with a couple of 4s coming down. No, okay, Armor and Shuri. Okay, we got to be worried about Shuri again. No Patriot. Sheesh. So I think we Sera here. Set ourselves up for the big finale. 30 power Red Skull. Not something we are going to beat. Of course, we are probably not beating a Taskmaster here either. Unless we can guess where it's going to go. Chat, I've got a plan. I'm going to guess where it's going to go. And my opponent's going to put it mid. No Taskmaster? Thank you, Cosmo. Thank you very much, you good boy. I will take my bonus dosage of cubes. Thank you very, very much. Well, this is certainly something. I think, taking a look at this deck in hindsight, maybe there's room to improve it now going forward. But I think it's a forgotten gem, and that's kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video on it today. I think a lot of people were very impressed by the ability to have this flexible game plan in the final turns, this duality, almost hide a bonus from your opponent until the very end of the game. And the truth is, I think that's important for laddering up early in the season during Marvel Snap. I think surprising your opponents, like you saw in many of the games we played on this video today, is going to catch a lot of people off guard and score you a lot of free cubes. There was definitely spots where, if we were more confident, we could have snapped back and taken even more 8-cube games. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing to the channel here. I would love to see you for more Marvel Snap content in the future, and appreciate all the likes and comments on this video as well. They help please the algorithm more than you will ever know, so if you could spare a thumbs up, that would be fantastic, and you can leave a comment down below to help push this out to more people as well. But until next time, I have been HowlingMines, you have been amazing, and this has been Marvel Snap Zone. Take care, have a good one.